Hello.
Oh my, hello.
I came to observe for a minute. Haha. Which I plan to do off and on until I'm convinced that you can practice by yourself.
I can, but I can't.
Well, this morning you were playing an arpeggio that sounded exactly the same as it did 6 months ago. So, I'm not saying you haven't improved in 6 months, but that particular exercise hasn't improved. Okay, show me your pencil.
Your pencil?
Mm-hmm.
It's right here.
Okay, show me the notes that say what you're going to work on the arpeggio. Where are the notes that you took about that?
I didn't really take any. I practically just remember what I work on whenever.
I practically just remember everything myself, which is why I forget everything. So go get a piece of paper, and I want you to start making notes about things. Is the arpeggio on here?
Yeah.
Where? Oh, very good. Next to your list, on your list, I want you to write down, well, this is not going to be a good thing for you to set your violin on or to write on. This is not going to work at all. So why don't you make that second shelf your writing shelf? Can you sneak down there and write? And they'll put your violin on that. Put that on the stair. Or I'll hold your violin for you.
I usually put my violin there in my office. I mean, it's safe. It never falls.
Okay, just you can use this. Okay, so what are you going to work on? What did you decide was good? On the arpeggios.
What?
What are your goals on the arpeggios?
This is... Okay.
Just tell me before you write anything. What's one of your goals?
To not stop the bow.
Good. Don't stop the bow.
And to be in tune.
Well, I think you work on that every time by using your brain.
Right.
And I think you should use less of your brain. So why don't you just put work on it instead of just running through it? I mean, the list is there not for what you should play through, but what you should be practicing, right?
Yeah.
So just put practice it.
Work on
Maybe put down 5 minutes or something so you remember not to just play through it. Okay. All right, good.
I could also add more dynamic.
I don't know. You should ask Eugene and Marcia about that. Some teachers don't like dynamics on scale type stuff.
I also have to
So I don't know. That you can put question dynamics and ask Marcia or Eugene. I really don't know. It's a good question.
Also,
should it be faster?
No, he said he wants me to do it slowly.
Okay, then slow is good.
Slow. I also have to do clean shifts.
Well, is that something he told you?
Yeah, it's just
Okay.
practically.
All right. So what's next on your list?
My Kreutzer is to do my 9th Kreutzer and my 14th one.
All right. Why don't you get started on that?
Okay.
I interrupted you when you were doing your vibrato exercise.
Yeah.
So maybe you should do that.
I was using this because it's the perfect height.
I thought it was supposed to be a book.
I know, but I can practically just use it.
Oh, okay.
And I have to have the metronome.
Does that hurt your hand?
No, it's just I haven't done it like that in a while. Because my hand just kind of froze for a second.
Oh. Is that your only vibrato exercise?
No, I do some stuff on the violin. I just play these.
Could I see the first part of it with the fourth finger again?
That?
Mm-hmm. And what is the goal with the fingers? Why are you doing this?
So you know how the hand feels, and so I can get faster on and on as I do it.
Mm-hmm. And do you only do it in that spot? You don't do it on any other strings or any other positions? I'm just asking.
Sometimes I do like a little scale,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna do that on my own time. Sometimes I don't really do it with my friends. Sometimes I just do it before my practice.
Okay, what's next?
My stuff is right here because I had it ready for this afternoon.
Well, okay, good. So you're doing Kreutzer now?
Yes.
All right. And here it says to do number 9 and...
Do number 14 first 5 lines faster.
So there are no goals for number 9? What's number 9?
It's the one where it goes. I have to get that fast.
Let me see. Let me hear it. A little bit of it.
It's the.
Can I ask you something? Are you supposed to play it right next to the fingerboard? Is that what? Is it? Is that what? I'm just asking.
It's just my arm. Anyways, I have sections for this, and I usually practice each section a day or something. So like I have.
And what's wrong with it? Why isn't it finished? What is he? I mean, why is you've been playing this for weeks? Why is it still being asked for you to do it?
Because the fingering and everything is good. It's just he wants me to get it to this tempo, which is I can barely play it, but it's like I can't play it. But right now I can probably play it. Well, oh, what happened? I can probably do it. Like on the whole thing. So he just wants me to speed it up. It's not that there's nothing.
Well, how are you going to get it speeded up? What's?
I usually do each section a day. Like I have section A, which is from measure 1 to 32.
And how much have you speeded it up in the last 2 weeks? Where were you? How fast were you playing it 2 weeks ago?
I will just start with section A. A few weeks ago, I was only at like 72 to 80, and now I can do it at 104, the section A, if I wanted to.
That's the first one. Okay.
That's as fast as I can do it. Yeah.
Well, so you feel like you're speeding it up and improving?
Yes, and then on section B, it's It's kind of harder, of course, but
Which one do you want to practice right now?
I mean, I think A is pretty down because it's at 104. The others are kind of slower. So maybe I could practice like the end because
Go ahead, just practice one of them.
Because the last section F, it has a lot of string crossings, and I'm used to playing everything double times, and this is just.
I'm sorry, you're giving me too much information.
Okay.
Just go ahead and show me how you practice it.
Okay, tap the wrong thing. So I usually do it 80, and then I try to speed it up.
And this is section F?
Yes. So I have to slow it down. And I do it again. Try to do one click faster.
Would it help if you memorized it?
I kind of have it down.
Okay. Well, so my question for you is, if you have it memorized, why are you looking at the music?
And sometimes when I practice, I just want to make sure so I get it every time instead of just memorizing it the whole time because I don't just feel comfortable with that.
Okay, well.
I usually do it at 80. My hand's just not very warmed up.
So, what I would suggest, my suggestion for you for this piece exercise is that you play it through once at the beginning of your practice, and then at the middle of your practice you play it through again. I would play it through a couple different times during each practice. I wouldn't try and do it over and over and over again all at once, because it's too hard. Your fingers are going to get tired, you're going to die. Okay, so I would I like how you've made it into chunks. I might even make smaller chunks and just do, like the hardest one. What's the hardest measure?
The hardest part of it is the easier approach.
Okay, I understand that. What I'm saying is, if it were me practicing this, I would pick up my violin 10 times in one day, and I would race through it 10 different times. And I wouldn't practice it 10 times in a row. I'd play it 2 times or 3 times in the morning, and 2 times at the beginning of my practice, maybe, and 2 or 3 times in the middle and the end. And I would try to just work on getting it faster that way. I wouldn't try to do it all at once. Okay, next. What is the number 14?
Right. Okay, sorry, just making another part. 14.
Oh, that's that one with the weak, long enough bows?
Yes.
Where you have to get strong on doing so many in a bow. Okay, so before you play this, what's a good idea to do?
A good idea to do is to maybe do the scale or something and get the new key in my hand, because I just did an F major scale.
Okay, try that.
And then I can do.
Why don't you do that in one bow? You're gonna kill me for saying this, but this exercise would be about 100 times easier for you if your thumb was properly in your bow stick. It's not, and it's a banana most of the time.
Well, that's how I always hold it.
I know, and you've gotten in a habit of that, and Eugene can't see you play, and neither can Marcia, but I'm sitting here looking, and I don't know any violinist that doesn't have their thumb bent. Yours is bent sometimes, but most of the time it's not. And when your thumb's bent, it gives you more cling on the string. And it's very hard to play a lot of notes in one bow if you don't have good cling on the string, especially long notes where you have to sustain the same level of bow. Well, isn't that pretty? Go ahead. Let's hear a little bit of it. I'm just checking to see if you're on the string. Don't do that again.
Just keep practicing it.
Okay, so quickly write down which measures you need to work on.
I'm just gonna circle them. Is that okay?
I guess so. I think it'd be better if you didn't play through things all the way before you practice. I think you should do less time playing things through and more time practicing. Do you understand why you need to have your thumb bent? I guess not, because you don't make a habit of it.
I don't really know.
Because it makes it stronger. Because well, I'll tell you why. Because in order, here, let me see the violin. Okay. And the bow. Okay. In order to play, what does the bow here have to do?
Be on the string.
But what does what does the stick have to do?
Has to have friction and be able
No,
to...
the stick of the bow, not the hair, the stick. What is my stick doing right now?
It has to be able to...
It's moving back and forth towards the hair, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay. Let me see you do that. I don't care how you hold the violin. Just make the bow hair do that. Or I don't care how you hold the bow. Just make the bow hair do that. And how are you doing it? With your arm, with your fingers? How are you doing it?
I'm kind of doing it with my muscle right here and my first finger and my thumb.
Okay. Now make your thumb a banana and do the same thing. And tell me which way is easier.
Because it's easier because my fingers have more friction like that.
Right, and that is the reason, because the control of the bow is by moving the stick closer to the bow hair, which thereby puts pressure on it, which helps to vibrate the string. You vibrate the string by how much the bow hair is on the string, and you control how much bow hair is on the string by how far down the bow stick is pushing. So go to the tip of your bow on your violin and push the bow hair, the stick down. Can you? So in order to have really good cling up there at the top, you have to actually bend here. This is where you're bending it. And in order to do that, you can lower your shoulder. In order to do that, you have to be able to exert pressure. And you have a very small violin, but you can make a big sound with that violin if you can push down on the strings, but you cannot smush. You have to smush and keep it moving at the same time. Otherwise, you're just pressing. And pressing is not what you're supposed to do.
Can I go clip this one part of nail? Because it's kind of bending into my finger.
Well, you were supposed to clip your nails yesterday, and what you did was you only clipped the nails on your left hand because you didn't consider that you needed to clip your nails on this hand. So no, you can go and do that when we're finished talking. By the way, I think this exercise in general sounds way better because you've done some other things. But if you want it to sound amazing, my suggestion is you write down next to it, thumb, and you really focus on bending that string with your thumb, not pushing it down, bending it. Bending the bow hair, bending the bow stick. It's not pushing, it's bending. or it's moving it. It's not pushing it. You know, you can play the violin with a banana thumb, and you can sound pretty good, and you do. But when you get into the more advanced pieces, like we were listening to Jascha Heifetz play, with all those double stops and every trick in the book that he throws, you will not be able to do it with a banana thumb. And if you don't start putting that in your practice, someday when we go visit Eugene, he's going to go, because he cannot see you and he cannot hear you very well over the internet. And neither can Marcia. And I'm sitting here watching you do the same thing that you used to do. And what that tells me is that you, Ella, are not paying attention to it. If you want to be a good violinist, you're going to have to adjust it. If you want to sound amazing, you're going to have to work on your bow. Okay? All right. So you should do a few more minutes on this. You have a lesson tomorrow. So why don't you pick the 2 hardest measures and play those for me 2 times each.
What's that? Trying to mark up that one.
Are you on the string?
I'm trying.
Okay. Okay. So why is that measure hard? What is hard about it?
On the shift to the... And it also has some accidentals.
So why don't you play it again slowly so I can hear it? Okay, so go to rest position and tell me 3 things that you can do that will improve that measure.
I can practice the shift up to the position, and I can do it separate bows to get it better, and I can also maybe do it so much on, like have the clip kind of slow on the like dun dun dun, and I could do da 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 da.
Okay, what I would suggest is that you memorize the measure. Play it 5 or 6 times and memorize it. And then I would watch my fingers and watch my bow, because I think you're playing on 2 different strings with your fingers, and that's part of why it sounds fuzzy, and I think your bow is sliding around. So do it very slowly, separate bows. See if you can memorize it. All right, good. Now, make it sound like music, for God's sake. Play it with some dynamics. I wouldn't want to play that 10 times myself. Okay, one more time with maybe just 1 crescendo or something. All right, why don't you start slurring by adding one? Yeah. No, just do the first two. And separate all the way. Yada, separate the rest of the way. Okay, now while you're doing that, because you are so great and you have it memorized, why don't you watch your fourth finger and see if you can keep it from going like that? Okay, well, you know, if it's hard for you to hit it, why don't you try? Can I finish my sentence?
Well, you keep.
You could try supporting your fourth finger by putting your third finger right next to it if you're not playing that third finger. Okay, then don't do that. Let me see. Okay, try playing it with your first finger instead of your fourth finger. Okay, can you play me the two notes in first position so we can really hear them slowly?
What do you mean?
What is the name of the high note that you're trying to hit?
G.
Okay, and what is the note before it?
E.
So it's E, E, G.
Yes.
Okay, now play it on the E string. Play it in first position. Okay, can you play it really slowly in first position? That's not really slow. I want to hear just the two notes. Ya, da. Now let's do it again and let's sing the two notes. It's what? What are the names of the notes?
E. G.
E, G. Play it and sing it in first position. Now play it, sing it.
E. G.
Now sing it while you play it on the high. Go back and play it slow and Can you play it really slowly in first position? Just the 2 notes. Now let's sing it. It's E, G, E, G. Okay, now now do 2 notes. E, E, G, G. Okay, so what I'm trying to do is help you get it inside your heart. And I want you to play it slowly, la, like you're singing to a baby. Da, da, dee, da. Try it again. Okay, now play it on the high note. So I wanted you to play the same phrase down low. I don't want you to play the open E string. Play a low E and then a G. So it sounds the same thing. Okay, so lullaby, is that what it sounds like? So play it again. Lullaby. So play that. Lullaby. Now slowly on the open E. Lullaby. Go back to the open. Lullaby. Okay, play that measure slowly, separate bows. All right, one more time. With separate bows. Okay, so now pick another measure and play through it.
Whistler.
Well, whatever you want. Bend your thumb and get on the string. Okay, give me your violin and put some rosin on your bow. This is not something you could play without bunches of rosin. Have you worked on both pieces this week or only one?
What do you mean?
Bach and the other one.
I've done both.
Okay. Have you got the Bach memorized? Do you have the Bach memorized?
Does it say I have to memorize it?
I'm asking you if you do.
I mean, I can play it. Well, not really. It's supposed to only play the Chrysler stuff memorized.
I thought this was the Bach you've been working on for a long time.
It is.
Oh.
But I'm just...
Well, I'd like to hear it without the music.
I'm still kind of new to the third page and second page.
Oh, okay.
Of the third movement, what she wants me to do.
Well, why don't you just play me the Bach, see what you can do with it without opening your music. I'd like to hear it. It's okay. I'm not interested in whether you have it perfectly memorized. I'm more interested in whether you can bring some emotion. So. Okay, so this is great. This is really good information. It tells you that this part is something you don't know as well, okay?
No, I've been trying to practice it.
Well, it's okay. Did you think I was going to be mad at you for not knowing it perfectly?
Kind of.
Well, I'm not. Tell me what the story is for this Bach. What are you thinking about when you're playing it?
Anyway, it's kind of weird, but it seems like kind of someone running away from something, like kind of, or an argument. Kind of someone running away while talking to someone else, like in the part on the first page, like that. And then the other person is like jumping over rocks or something.
You know, when you were explaining your story, it sounded about 1,000,000 times better. Why don't you think about that tomorrow when you play it for Eugene?
Okay.
I mean it. I mean, when you were explaining how you feel about it, not only were there fewer mistakes, it sounded way better. Okay, so
It's been 46. It's okay.
Been 46 minutes?
On here it has, but it's okay. I can do more if you want.
I do want you to.
Okay.
Okay, so open up the Bach and find that section that was hard and play through it slowly,
It's
maybe.
on the second page. 'Cause I'm not
Well,
focused.
okay, that's fine. Do you want to take a break? So if you want to take a break, you should play through that, whatever it is. That one, to play that.
Oh, I was right.
What?
What I was playing was correct. Well, I'm the music out anyways. I thought it was
So how can this part not sound so fuzzy? Why does it sound fuzzy? I'm not saying.
my hand just isn't comfortable with this position with my thumb being like that and then my hand being like that.
You mean it never sounded fuzzy before? Suddenly it sounds fuzzy when you do that? Okay, put your thumb back the other way and let me hear it. Let me hear it with your thumb as a banana. I disagree. I think it sounds just as fuzzy both ways. And I think what's really hard about it is that you're going really fast and there's a lot of string crossings and fast moving fingers. I think it's just plain hard. So, and I think that, can I say something? I think, I remember Eugene saying that fuzziness was caused by mainly one thing. What did he call that in the lesson? Right.
He called it that. He said, that's hard to do, but he said it's
It is potato. Do you know what a potato peeler looks like?
What's that?
Do you know what a potato peeler is?
It looks like a bow.
No. Have you ever seen a potato peeler?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Peeled like
You've peeled
40 potatoes in my life.
Okay, so that means in this section, you must be sliding around some. So what can you do to not slide around as much?
Have more friction on my bow or clean the strings because they are very dirty.
You could try both of those things. But it's been a lot of practice. So I suggest that you take a 10-minute break and then I will not intervene at all. And I want you to practice this piece because you do have a lesson tomorrow. Okay? So get yourself some dessert or take a break for 15 minutes. Start uploading and come back.
So I do the other piece on my own time?
Right.
Okay.
Happy?
No.
Yes.